The internet as we know it is full of strange places, people, and things. Yep, that sums up everything that we know online. And that strangeness does not go away when we're talking about authors online. Yeah. So for some reason, there's this weird phenomenon online where there is a business of acquiring people who are doing certain things and they don't really know what they're doing. So there's a market of people or a business revolving, or not necessarily a business, but a business model that is geared solely towards acquiring the business of people who are new at something. For instance, you may say that you want to start making motivational videos online and posting them to your Instagram. So what do? You start making these videos, you start putting hashtags on your video post and everything. And, your hashtags are geared towards that particular niche or who you're trying to help. And then all of a sudden someone gets in your inbox and they say something weird to break your walls down, and you have a little conversation briefly, and then all of a sudden they are now trying to sell you a product. And as I said already, this happens a lot in the author space, especially for indie authors. With so many people being afraid of self-publishing and wanting and yearning for that publishing company to reach out to them and say, hey, I will publish your book. All you had to do is write and we'll do the rest. Unfortunately, there are people out here who are preying on that. Hi, my name is AJ McMullen and I am a sci-fi fantasy author, and I have been a victim of this very phenomenon, and I don't really think it stopped. I think it slowed down a lot based on where I am in my career, but it definitely hasn't stopped. Around the first year that I published The Gem State Siege in 2021, I made an effort to actually start marketing the book online, start posting that I'm an author and everything under the sun. And then I was approached by this woman. It wasn't like a company name or anything. Like, it was a regular person on Instagram. And she actually sent me an email saying that she was on my Instagram page and she liked my content. It always starts with, I like your content, I see what you're posting, and I see a lot of potential in you. I didn't think anything of it because the account actually seemed real. Like, it wasn't the first time that I've been here. I've done network marketing where people actually preyed on people who didn't know what they're doing in network marketing either. So this wasn't the first time I've seen this. And, I'm way past the point in the age of falling for stuff like that. But the email was kind of ingrained in, I've seen your content and I love what you've been posting. I work for a publishing company and I just want to have a conversation with you about publishing your book. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but I've already published my book. So what do we really have to talk about? Then she responded, well, maybe we could publish your book and focus on what your next book is going to be published. And I've actually been looking at your content and know that you are working on a sequel to that book as well, so we can discuss that. So I'm like, okay, you've actually been looking at my content, so maybe this is a real person. Okay, cool. Let's set up a time and date, and then we'll discuss it. A few days went by and she sent me a link to a Zoom meeting. I got on with this woman and she told me the name of the publishing company. I've never heard of the publishing company at all. And, because we're on Zoom, I'm actually Googling the name of the publishing company. And I don't really see a lot of good things online about this publishing company. And of course, as soon as I typed it in, X company scam came up in the suggestion, and I'm like, oh, that's the top suggested search. I don't like that. So I clicked on it, and this lady is giving her whole spiel, telling me about all of these amazing things that her and her company are able to do for their authors. I'm just fact checking everything. I'm going into looking at this company's Instagram. She didn't actually reach out to me from this company's website or branding or anything. It was like a personal email. It was like a Gmail account. And I thought that was kind of weird, like not X person at publishingcompany.com. Like it was just straight up a Gmail. And I was just confused about that because I'm like, if I need to send correspondence to anybody, you're getting an email from info@ajmcmullen.com, not my Gmail account. I don't want anybody to have my Gmail account, so that didn't really make sense to me. But I started looking at some of the other authors that they claim to represent, and all while this woman is still going on about what her company is doing and how long she's been with the company and what she's been able to witness and how many people they have involved and all this other stuff like that. And essentially, like they were saying that they were going to market the book. They were going to publish the book. They were going to do branding. They were going to reach out to people as far as like your PR and everything like that. Everything that you would think that a traditional publishing company would do, this woman was saying that they were going to do. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. But like, I'm looking at their page on Instagram and I see the authors that they claim to represent, and none of these authors they weren't actually being pushed. There was just a post about the author and a picture of their book. And what didn't even look professional. It was literally just like a collage or something, like a solid color with the book blurb, the picture of the book, something that you can get off of BookBrush yourself, and a picture of the author. And then the caption was about the author and the book. And I was just like, this is interesting. And then there was like no comments on any of them, but there was like a whole bunch of likes. You could buy likes on Instagram. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but yeah, there was like a lot of likes. There were no comments. And then when you look at the author profile, like the author didn't have anything going on. There was no PR. I would assume that if you say you're doing PR for these authors, that these authors would be posting on their particular page. You said that there was a social media push that will happen for these authors. There was nothing on these authors' pages about a social media push. There was no post generated about their buzz at all. So I was just like, okay, this is sketch. I ain't feeling this. As I got to the point where I started having follow-up questions, I say, could I reach out to some of the authors that you guys have represented? Just get a feel for what you guys do and just kind of fact check this. And the woman gave me the sketchiest answer that I think she could have gave in that moment. She said, actually, you can feel free to do that, but I strongly suggest that you don't, because the success of each author varies from author to author based on their determination and their work ethic. And I'm just like, didn't you just say that you guys are going to be the work ethic? Like, what does the author have to do with what you guys are able to do for them? So like, if you're able to do it, like, I get that the author has to be responsible for his or her own success. That's not the issue. But what you're saying is that you saying that if I contact this author because they're not successful, they're going to just immediately throw you under the bus. Like, that rung a lot of red flags in my opinion. I didn't actually reach out to any of the authors that they said they were working with, but I ultimately got off of that Zoom call immediately once the woman said that she wanted me to pay them $15,000 or something. Like, it was like a sum total of $15,000 in order to publish my book, and then they will be getting paid off of the percentage of the royalties. And then once they reach to a certain amount of royalties, then I will start getting royalties from the book. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would I spend money up front for this? It didn't make sense to me at all. I come to find out that this business model is called a hybrid publisher. And the hybrid publisher format works if you just have money to throw at a problem. It's literally you cutting out the publishing process or in having somebody to post a social media post about you and your book every blue moon. Like if you have the money to throw at that problem and get somebody to publish for you, then you can go with a hybrid publisher. But otherwise, you can just do it yourself. You don't need anyone to publish your book for you, because publishing a book is literally the easiest part of your entire author career. You will never do anything easier than publishing a book. And that's my personal opinion. I mean, just based off of what I'm able to do, but I do have a leg up because I am a digital designer. I am able to format my own books. I'm able to edit my own books, and not a lot of people are going to have the ability to do that. And I understand that, but publishing the book is the easiest thing that you can do in a sense of it. Like it's literally free for one thing. Like Amazon doesn't charge you a dime. And actually now Ingram Spark doesn't charge you for publishing a book either. The only thing they charge you for is maybe, I think it's $25 for resubmitting, re-uploading book covers and manuscript edits and stuff like that. But it doesn't cost it doesn't cost thousands of dollars to publish a book at all. So I didn't understand why this publisher was telling me that this is what it was going to cost in order to publish a book. And that was all that they were doing. I come to find out that there are a lot of people who end up in this position when they're brand new and don't really have a reputation to stand on. There are a lot of companies out here who are telling people that they can get their name out there, that they can make them into a global sensation. They can get their books into multiple markets. They can post on social media for them on their behalf. They can get them a lot of engagement online, and they start using these words and this jargon, this industry jargon, because they know that it's just going to confuse some people who haven't really brushed up on the business side of being an author. And I think it's completely screwed up. To this day, I get at least 10 DMs a week on my TikTok account of someone just randomly trying to start a conversation with me. And it always looks like a genuine conversation at the beginning. They ask something like, how you doing? Or they say something like, I seen your last post about XYZ, and I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate it. I seen this, that, and the third, and just wanted to say hello. And then you open up a conversation, open up a dialogue, and then you realize like a week later, now they're trying to sell you something. And meanwhile, telling you about all the things that you're doing wrong on social media, wrong, quote unquote, because everything is wrong to someone who is trying to sell you on what they think right is. The reason I'm making this video was because there are a lot of people who are falling for this. There, you see a TikTok account that claims to be really strong in the book talk community, and they're this ARC reviewer that is going to read your book and give their honest review on a website. All you had to, or on their blog and on their TikTok page, and all you had to do is pay them X amount of money, and then you look on their page and they don't even do book reviews. Like, it's just a business hustle. Now, not to say that there are, like, everybody who's doing that is trying to scam someone, but there are a lot of people online who make it their business to prey on the people who don't really know what's going on. If you don't know the business side of being an author, someone is going to say something to you that's going to sound like an amazing opportunity, and chances are you're going to go for it if you don't really know these things. So I wanted to post this video about this particular thing because I still see it quite frequently. I hate to hear someone on TikTok or YouTube or something, or even in person, say that they wrote a book and they gave something to someone, or they paid someone their last dollar because they really believed in themselves, just to be taken advantage of at the end. I really don't like hearing that. that. So that was the reason why I made this video. So the best thing that you can do when you come into a situation like this is just call it out. Content is key online, and you had to make content all the time anyway. You can call it out, or if you want to be nice about it, just say, just talk about it online, and raise that awareness for people who don't understand that the internet is a dark place and you shouldn't trust everybody, because there's going to be a lot of people who claim to be on your side, but they're really not. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this all the time, and I am a writer just like you, and I myself have written multiple books now. If you're interested in my book, Legacy of the Arcane and Flame, you can find that in ebook and paperback on Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and anywhere that sells books, you can find Legacy of the Arcane and Flame. Let me know in the comments if you've ever dealt with anything like this and how you avoided it. Until next time, writer, stay fly and write on.